Picture this. You've just landed in Malaysia. KLIA Airport. Everything is shining. The floors are so clean you could eat jollof rice off them, and honestly, after airplane food, you're considering it. You're relaxed. You're excited. You feel international. So naturally, you do what every African abroad does. You post. Malaysia, we have arrived. The dream is valid. Beautiful. 48 hours later, you're sitting in a room with fluorescent lights, a plastic chair, and one immigration officer staring at you like you personally offended his bloodline. And he's asking about your second post. The joke. Listen, Malaysia is genuinely one of the most beautiful countries in Asia. The food deserves global awards. The infrastructure is clean. The transport works. The skyline looks like Wakanda with better Wi-Fi. But Malaysia has rules. Specific rules. Rules that will smile at you politely and then arrest you before your Grab driver even arrives. And somehow, nobody is properly explaining this to the African diaspora. Until now. Let's set the scene properly. Malaysia is sitting right at the crossroads of Southeast Asia. Modern cities, Islamic influence, Chinese-Malay business culture, British-style legal systems, luxury malls, street food, and laws that can switch from relaxed to terrifying in under 3 seconds. And Africans are going there in large numbers. Nigerians, Ghanaians, Kenyans, South Africans, Zimbabweans, students, tourists, entrepreneurs, hustlers with vision. But we Africans travel with a certain type of confidence. A dangerous confidence. The kind that says, I survived Lagos traffic and Nipah. What can Malaysia possibly do to me? Malaysia heard you. Malaysia prepared a response. Because this country operates under multiple legal systems at once. Civil law, Islamic influence, and state-by-state regulations. In a setup so confusing that even locals sometimes need clarification. This isn't just about avoiding embarrassment. This can turn your holiday into a full family meeting topic for the next 10 years. So, let's talk properly. First things first, drugs. And please, I need you to focus here. Everybody says Malaysia has strict drug laws. But Africans hear that and translate it into, okay, don't smoke publicly. No, that's not what they mean. Malaysia has some of the harshest drug laws on earth. Certain quantities automatically trigger trafficking charges. And trafficking can carry the death penalty. Not maybe. Not depending on the mood of the judge. Death penalty. Now here's where foreigners get trapped. Southeast Asian drug networks sometimes use unsuspecting travelers as mules. A stranger helps you pack. Someone asks you to carry a parcel. A friend of a friend leaves a bag with you. Then airport security dogs suddenly develop a personal interest in your suitcase. And here's the scary part. Above certain amounts, Malaysian law can assume trafficking automatically, meaning the burden shifts to you to prove innocence. So please, pack your own bags, lock your luggage, and stop carrying random packages because somebody called you brother. This is not the country to be careless in. Now, let's discuss your phone. Because your phone in Malaysia can become an undercover police informant. Africans love social media. We post everything. Airport pictures, food reviews, political opinions, hot takes nobody asked for. We quote tweet governments with the confidence of unemployed freedom fighters. In Malaysia, that confidence can become evidence. Malaysia has laws covering offensive or false online content. And yes, foreigners can get into trouble too. Criticizing sensitive political topics, insulting religion, mocking the monarchy, or posting certain jokes online can attract real legal attention. And here's the confusing part. Enforcement feels random. Some people post controversial things and go viral. Others post one joke and suddenly discover what fluorescent interrogation lighting looks like. That unpredictability is the dangerous part. So while you're in Malaysia, maybe don't turn into a revolutionary Twitter activist. The opinions can wait until you land safely back home. Now, let's talk about the monarchy. Because Malaysia's royal system is not something to joke around with casually. Malaysia has multiple royal families rotating leadership in a system that honestly sounds fictional until you realize it's real. and the monarchy is heavily respected and legally protected. This is where many foreigners accidentally get themselves into trouble. Not through direct insults, but through memes, captions, sarcastic reposts, WhatsApp jokes. You know that thing Africans do, where we turn every serious topic into comedy within 6 minutes? Yeah, maybe not here. Because locals understand the political atmosphere better than you do. They know where the invisible line is. You don't. And trying to freestyle through that situation as a foreigner is like trying to perform Afrobeats in Mandarin after watching 2 TikToks. Confidence will not save you. Now, let's discuss dress codes and public behavior. Because Malaysia is diverse, beautiful, religious, and very culturally layered. You'll see mosques, churches, temples, shrines, all existing together peacefully. But respect matters deeply. If you enter a mosque dressed improperly, act disrespectfully during prayer, or treat sacred places like Instagram studios, people will notice immediately. And depending on the situation, it can become more than just awkward, especially during Ramadan. Some conservative states take public behavior very seriously during the fasting period. And here's what catches tourists off guard. Malaysia changes depending on where you are. Kuala Lumpur feels modern and international. But travel to more conservative regions, and suddenly the social atmosphere shifts completely. Same country, different energy. So the smartest travelers learn one thing quickly. Read the room. Every single time. Now, let's talk immigration. Because this is where many Africans quietly destroy their future in Malaysia. You arrive with a tourist visa. 3 months pass. Life feels comfortable. Cheap food. Fast Wi-Fi. Nice weather. And suddenly your brain starts whispering, what if I just stay small longer? That whisper is how problems begin. Overstaying in Malaysia is a serious offense. And immigration enforcement can become very aggressive during crackdowns. Then there's working illegally. A lot of people think, but I'm only freelancing online. My clients aren't Malaysian. It's just content creation. Malaysia does not always see it that way. And visa runs? That classic strategy where people leave briefly and return repeatedly to reset their stay? Immigration officers are increasingly watching for it. Too many suspicious travel patterns, and suddenly you're in a tiny airport office explaining your life choices to somebody who has heard every excuse already. And the most dangerous part? You'll see other people getting away with it. That's how the trap works. Because enforcement comes in waves. And when those waves hit, nobody feels special anymore. Now, let's discuss one of the biggest traps for Africans abroad. Bribery. Imagine getting stopped over a document issue. Then someone whispers, just settle it quietly. Now, if you grew up in Africa, your survival instincts immediately recognize this language. You think, yes, negotiation. We are back in familiar territory. Wrong move. Malaysia's anti-corruption laws are serious. Offering a bribe can turn a small issue into a major criminal case. And here's the confusing part. Corruption does exist in some places. But anti-corruption enforcement also exists, meaning you never fully know whether someone expects money or is waiting for you to offer it so they can arrest you. That's the trap. So never offer cash. Never suggest settlement. And if things feel strange, request documentation and contact your embassy. Professionalism saves lives. And honestly, this is the big contradiction at the center of Malaysia. Malaysia wants tourists. Malaysia wants investors. Malaysia wants students and business owners from around the world. But it also expects foreigners to fully respect local culture, religion, laws, and authority structures, even when those rules feel very different from what people are used to back home. That doesn't make Malaysia bad. It just means Malaysia has its own system. And the people who struggle most are usually not criminals. They're just uninformed. Now here's the part one really need Africans abroad to hear. The diaspora is doing something powerful right now. We are moving globally, building businesses, creating opportunities, entering spaces our parents never imagined. And Malaysia can absolutely be part of that success story. But every avoidable arrest, every deportation, every reckless mistake affects more than one person. It affects perception. It affects future visa approvals. It affects how the next African traveler is viewed at the border. So protecting yourself also protects the community. Know the rules. Move smart. Travel wisely. And now there are two possible futures. 1. Africans in Malaysia build strong businesses, respected communities, and powerful connections between Africa and Southeast Asia. Or 2. The mistakes continue, the headlines get worse, and opportunities slowly start disappearing behind tighter policies and more suspicion. The difference between those two futures? Information, and what people choose to do with it.
So, let me ask you something.
What's the wildest thing you've ever seen an African do abroad that made you immediately fear for their passport? Be honest. Drop it in the comments. Share this video with somebody planning to travel to Malaysia with nothing can happen confidence. You know exactly who I'm talking about. Like the video,
Subscribe.
and come back next week. Because trust me, the next country we're talking about might make Malaysia look relaxed.